said that nuclear deterrence exists because France will never accept a battle taking place in Europe. There is a battle in Europe. It's in Ukraine because the Russians invaded their neighbors. So, well, yes, there are madmen who say, yes, we should fire long range at the Russians. Are you crazy? Are we going to accept that such demons have the slightest responsibility? Do you want a Jadot or a Glucksmann to drag you into wars that would be immediately decisive because they would end the moment they began? It only takes one strike on France and there is no more France. That's the truth. We have nothing to gain from war. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And we haven't acted tough. I was coming from the Maghreb, where the national liberation struggles had put an end to colonialism. I do not identify with colonialism. I identify with the national liberation struggle that was fought in the name of principles I share with Algerians, Moroccans, and Tunisians who are back home. That is our shared history. Choose your side. Not only in the present, but in the past as well. In the past, we were not enemies, and we never have been. It was the powerful enemies among themselves who pushed the people into battle. Look closely. No, nuclear power is not an independent means of producing energy because we don't have uranium, so we are forced to obtain it from abroad. Secondly, if nuclear power does not pose an immediate danger because it is well managed and well maintained, then allow me to say it is truly extraordinary to see people saying both that they are preparing for war and that they are preparing to put nuclear power everywhere, because nuclear power is a target. And that's what makes defending this country more difficult than in other countries. And when we've said up until now, we have military nuclear capabilities that protect us. That's true. But the decision has to be made. And it was said that nuclear deterrence exists because France will never accept a battle taking place in Europe. There is a battle in Europe. It's in Ukraine because the Russians invaded their neighbors. So, well, yes, there are madmen who say, yes, we should fire long range at the Russians. Are you crazy? Are we going to accept that such demons have the slightest responsibility? Do you want a Jadot or a Glucksmann to drag you into wars that would be immediately decisive because they would end the moment they began? It only takes one strike on France and there is no more France. That's the truth. We have nothing to gain from war. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And we haven't acted tough. All right, I need to get to my conclusion. But I still have to talk to you about something else, though it's not funny. Something that has nothing to do with you. It's the Epstein case. So you have to say Epstein. Me, I've never said Frankenstein. I say Frankenstein. Just to say he's very ugly and I'm scared. So his name is Epstein? He's very ugly and I'm scared. But still, it's incredible. It's unheard of. It's enough to make you sick, right? I'm one of those people who can't even listen to a story like that. Afterwards, I can't sleep. It's an exceptionally serious situation. First, because of the scale of the crimes that were committed. Ladies and gentlemen, this man spent half the year for 16 years in Paris, on Avenue Foch. And as a journalist said the other night, Mr. Apathy, he said, we don't see why. A guy who committed crimes all year long when he was in the United States, when he arrives in France, he just stops. And all of a sudden, he would become chaste, because that's just not true. And I think Apathy is right about this matter. And consequently, I am astonished that apparently there are 3 million files. I wouldn't go look at them. Then, when we discussed it among ourselves, we said, we will not be among those who jump on the first rumor to attack someone and cover them in disgrace. We won't do that. But there is one thing we will do. We demand that justice get involved. We want the criminals to be punished. All of them, without exception, no matter their importance, no matter their place in society, all must be punished. Because if we accept to live in a society where some people are exempt from their crimes, just because it's them and they're too important for us to go after, then it's no longer a society, not even for a moment. I'm going to read you a short text on the subject.